The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRCMedia, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
This week in FRCmedia News, the stalemate continues between the city and the FREA on a new contract for teachers. We review how Fall River voted in the state primary. And Viva Fall River moves its Maker Shop and Visitor Center to Purchase Street. All this and more coming up. It's Thursday, September 5th, 2024. This is FRCmedia News. I'm Keith Tebow. The Fall River Educators Association and the school department remain at odds over the details of a new teacher's contract. Although both sides met this week, no agreement was reached. FREA President Keith Michon says no new salary offers were introduced and the city presented new proposals on only a handful of items.
You know, we're very frustrated that this has taken so long. We've met 13 times. We've been meeting since February. We had really hoped to have an agreement by the end of the school year. We worked over the summer trying to get an agreement. And, you know, there's still things that we're pretty far off on right now. And now the members they're working their today's the fifth day of their new contract or new contract year, but we don't have a contract. I think the members keep each other energized. And, you know, there's nothing more energizing than when you feel disrespected. And that's going to engage a lot of the members. It's nothing that I have to do to get them to tune in.
Both sides remain divided on compensation based on teacher seniority. The city proposes a 7% increase for lower level teachers in year 1 and an 8% increase for those on the higher steps. For years 2 and 3, the city proposes a 5% increase across the board. The union is seeking wage increases of 8 and 9% in year 1, with 9 and 10% hikes in years 2 and 3. The FREA contends that its members remain underpaid compared to other gateway cities, and with an increase in funding from the state, now is the time for the city to make adjustments. Mr. Michon points to a recent contract agreement in Salem as an example of where Fall River negotiations should be heading.
They got a very significant pay increase. I hear that for their area, they were significantly behind like we are, and their district was able to come up significantly for those groups. And they also got a great 6 weeks of paid parental leave benefit in that contract, along with some other things that I haven't seen the specifics of their deal, but it definitely is in line with what we're asking for. They're in a similar position. And with their significant pay increase, they're already ahead of us, and they've received a significant pay increase as well. So we've been hearing a lot that we've been offered the highest pay increase in the state. It may be percentage-wise, but given our current wage levels, it doesn't bring us to the highest paid in the state, or even the middle of the pack of the schools, the districts that we compare ourselves to.
Mayor Paul Coogan, who chairs the school committee, says he's concerned over the pace of negotiations, but concedes it's part of the bargaining process.
At one point, we gave them 13 dates to meet, and they settled on one. I mean, we wish this was moving a little faster. I think the membership wishes it was moving a little faster, at least the ones I talked to. I think we've made a really, really strong offer. Tweak here, tweak there, but we would get this done if we could. I know we want to be fair with our teachers. We do appreciate the fact that they're not on par with some of our neighboring communities. But with that being said, we have to also be realistic and knowing full well that the offer we made them is working closer to getting them on par, because I don't believe anybody in the area has received the kind of offer we're giving.
Mr. Michon says the longer teachers work without a new contract, the likelihood the union will begin to discuss possible job actions.
The members are really torn. We decided not to take any actions last week in the first week of school. We really want to focus on the students, and that's where my members want to, put all their attention and all their energy. But right now, they're talking about what else we could do, and work to rule is one option, and we'll explore what else we could do. The talk is out there, not in my meetings, but it's out in the community. People are constantly wondering how long we will continue to meet before taking that action. But I can't say what the date would be that we would make that decision.
The next negotiation session is scheduled for September 18th. Only 11.5% of eligible voters in Fall River cast ballots in this week's Massachusetts state primary. Here's how the candidates fared in the Democratic, Republican, and Libertarian Party races. With few contested races in the Democratic primary, all the incumbents advanced. U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren is seeking another term, as is 4th District Congressman Jake Auchincloss. Joseph Pereira is looking to return as the region's governor's counselor. The region's incumbent legislative delegation, Senator Michael Rodrigues and State Representatives Carol Fiola and Alan Sylvia in the Bristol 6th and 7th districts move on and will not face a challenger in November. Westport Selectman Stephen Willett won the Democratic nomination, running in the 8th Bristol district of retiring State Representative Paul Schmid. In county races, Jennifer Sullivan will move on and not face a November challenge in the race for Clerk of Courts. In the one contested race in the primary, incumbent Register of Deeds Bernard J. McDonald defeated challenger former Swansea School Committee member and Selectman Christopher Carrero by just under 1,000 votes. Attorney Carrero won the primary in Swansea and Somerset and lost by 1 vote in Freetown. There is no Republican running in November, so Mr. McDonough will be the presumptive winner. And finally, 2 Democrats running for county commissioner will advance, incumbent former Fall River Mayor John Mitchell and newcomer Julie Catherine Ruggiero. In the Republican primary, John Deaton, who resides in Swansea, beat back a challenge from Robert Antonellis and Ian Kane to secure the nomination to face Senator Elizabeth Warren in November. The other races for Congress, Governor's Council, every member of the local legislative delegation, and all county seats up for grabs had no Republicans running, but did receive write-in votes. Write-ins were also all that were tallied in the Libertarian Party primary, as 64 voters chose that ballot in Fall River. The first presidential debate between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris will take place next Wednesday, with millions of voters expected to watch all or part of that debate. So what can we expect from the candidates? Bristol Community College Associate Professor of History and Government Don Kilgus says Vice President Harris needs to focus on specifics on why she should be considered our next president.
What the candidates need to do is try to differentiate, to distinguish themselves from each other regarding these different policies. In addition, they have to try to reconcile what they may have said previously, either in the primaries or previously in their political careers, or even their personal life, I guess, with what they're actually saying now in terms of policy or whatnot, and also narrowing down the policy as well. As you just mentioned, I think that's something that Vice President Harris really needs to look at and say, all right, what is she actually going to do? Because both of these individuals need to appear presidential. They need to appear in control. They need to appear not being bullies, though, or bullied by the other candidate, for example, as well. And I think that's something that Vice President Harris really needs to start thinking about for this campaign, for this debate coming up. How can she truly distinguish herself from Donald Trump on so many of the key issues, whether it be the economy, immigration, and so forth?
For former President Trump, Mr. Kilgus says he needs to temper his rhetoric while pointing to the successes of his administration.
He has to try to balance being on the attack, standing up for himself and his ideas and what he accomplished during his 4 years as president, versus looking like a bully, versus looking like someone who doesn't have the respect for the other candidate that he rightfully should have as the candidate from the other major party, for example. And I think you mentioned about the previous debate with President Biden, I think that's something that people were really concerned about with Trump, that he couldn't appear too aggressive. He couldn't appear to be that kind of a bully. And it seemed like he did control himself. That's something I think we need to watch to see is, can he control himself? Will it come out that he's, angry, or that he's, antagonistic or smug or whatever words you want to use, or a bully, for lack of a better word. And that may come back to hurt him.
So far, this is the only scheduled presidential debate before the November election. And depending on the outcome on Wednesday, it may be the only opportunity for voters to see the candidates one-on-one.
So if someone comes through and has kind of a slam dunk moment, if you will, in this debate, you could very well see they say, no, we're good. We're just going to keep going the way it's going. And because, as always, it's in politics, as in most things, what people believe is the truth, what people believe about their own lives and about their situation, whether they're better off than they were 4 years ago, and so on and so forth. That's often so much more important than whatever kind of statistics or other kinds of facts that either the media or the candidates can actually throw out there. And if you did do a very good job in this debate, for example, there's only one way to go, and that's down. So many candidates, I think, would say, no, we're good. We're just going to ride this and see what happens. And, we'll see.
Even though summer does not officially end for a few weeks, Citizens for Citizens has begun preparing to accept applications for its fuel assistance program this winter. Over the years, hundreds of residents in Fall River and Taunton have received assistance to pay their heating bills beginning November 1st through April 30th.
We're still one of the largest fuel programs in the state. And the need for, a gateway city like Fall River is always up there, So we'll send out probably about 15 to 17,000 applications, which we are starting to do now and have sent most of them out for people that applied the year before. And we're also, encouraging people that can come in and apply now, even though the program doesn't officially start till November 1st. So we're taking walk-ins for people that want to apply in person. We've, like I said, we've sent out all the applications for people who were on the program the previous year, which they just need to make changes on that, sign it, any changes that might have occurred from the year before, and mail it back to us. And then we've already signed to certify applications. But again, the program officially starts November 1st, so that's when payments will start being made once people have their applications approved.
Many people feel they may not qualify for fuel assistance, but each year the income guidelines for the program rise and are generous.
If you're a single person making $49,000 or $49,100, around that range, you're going to be eligible for the program. If I like to give the example of a family of 5, because if you make $105,000 as a family of 5, and that's a pretty significant amount, you're going to be eligible for the program. So the program does certainly, it does help people of low income, and it seems targeted to that. But it's actually a program that's expanding the eligibility to really middle class and people at work, and like I said, people that, the elderly, the disabled, families with children. But the eligibility guidelines, I think a lot of people, underestimate the ability.
Where heat is included in their unsubsidized housing, qualified residents may receive a 30% reimbursement of their monthly rent. Qualified applicants can also take advantage of other utility assistance programs.
We collect not only their primary heating source, we also collect their electric bills information, because people are going to be eligible on both the Liberty and Grid for significant discounts. Liberty is probably 25 to 27% for the whole year. Once we determine your eligibility, you get put on what's called the discount rate, or the low income rate. And collecting the electric allows us to give the information to the electric company that you're eligible for fuel assistance, and that also gets you a 37% discount through Grid for the whole year. any public utility in Massachusetts, once the low income rate is determined, gives a significant discount. So that's very important.
Homeowners and renters may also qualify for free services to make their homes more energy efficient.
Renters or homeowners are eligible to have our energy auditors come in and evaluate the house for efficiency, and there's different benefits that stem from that. So your eligibility to fuel also gives you the eligibility for these, the weatherization and the heating system programs. And we also have programs to replace faulty heating systems, and we have programs in the energy vein that can replace energy inefficient appliances like dryers, air conditioners, things of that, refrigerators.
New applications will begin to be accepted on October 1st. Even though applicants can apply for assistance after November 1st, it's wise to plan now.
I certainly encourage people to get their applications in as soon as possible. And like you said, especially with the high cost of energy prices, oil, gas, I mean, everyone knows how much that is now, including, with inflation, food costs and other things. We like to think of this program certainly as benefiting people beyond the actual just paying for their energy costs. You're being able to divert those funds that you have, limited funds in most cases, to things like medicines and food, rent. So the program's very important on a myriad of levels.
For more information on the Fuel Assistance Program, visit Citizens for Citizens website at cfcinc.org, or you can call 508-679-0041. We'll have more FRC Media News after this.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Direct Care Aid Family Service Association, located at 101 Rock Street, seeks a full-time direct care aide to provide assistance and supervision to members living in their own home in the Fall River area. Job number 213-78066. Senior Facilities Manager, Amazon, located at 1180 Innovation Way, is looking for a full-time Senior Facilities Manager to provide leadership, mentor, and manage field-based facilities managers in the expansion of Amazon's North American Fulfillment Network. Job number 213-72075. Customer Service Supervisor, Bakos Bank, located at 310 Airport Road, is seeking a full-time customer service supervisor responsible for the daily supervision of the branch teller staff, creating a high-quality service team. Job number 213-58348. Landscape Construction Laborer, Tiger Tree and Landscaping Incorporated, located at 109 Plymouth Avenue, is looking for a full-time landscape construction laborer. For more information, call 781-834-2466. Invigen Pharmaceuticals Incorporated, located at 927 Current Road, has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions. Manufacturing Line Lead, job number 213-76925. QA Operations Specialist, job number 213-65683. For more information about these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. The Viva Fall River Visitor Center and Shop has moved from a storefront on South Main Street to a location on the corner of Purchase and Granite Streets downtown. Executive Director Patty Rigo says the new location provides visitors and city residents a welcoming space to shop for local products and find information on what's happening in Fall River.
We still have a lot of local makers from around, not only Fall River, but from around the region. We did curate down to about 40 or so, but you can still find the same great products, a lot of personal care items, some home items. We also have expanded our Fall River branded merchandise. So if you want to show some city pride, we have some items in stock, and we have a lot more to come before the holiday as well. So that's going to be fun, something I've always wanted to do. And then in addition to the things that you can purchase, there's also a visitor center area that has a collection of brochures from all different places, some here in the city, as I said, but also some in the region, because we like to promote people staying a couple days here in this region. We wanted to create almost like an exhibition space for manufacturers, so they could show their work, the things that they work on every day, to people who might not have either visited their showroom, or some of them don't have showrooms. So we are thrilled that Vanson, celebrating their 50th year in business, decided to come along on the ride with us, and they are our first exhibition in our manufacturer space.
Ms. Rigo says the visitor center and shop exposes people to what Fall River currently has to offer and its prospects for growth.
It was really about creating like this tourism infrastructure. And now with this space, I think it's more, we are really trying to highlight our manufacturing culture. I do consider this to be more of not what you would traditionally consider economic development, but I mean our creative community, our maker community, our manufacturers are really, really important. So the first step was just, here's all the things we have, here's all our assets, here's our small businesses, and now we're taking a deeper dive into like, your company should be here too. If you're creative, you should come and make stuff here too. So it's really about that next step. How do we grow this great community that we've been promoting all along?
The Visitor Center and Shop will be hosting a grand opening celebration on Saturday.
We're having a full day from 10 to 6, lots of things for kids. The bookmobile is going to be here. David Mello from the library is going to actually be reading a story about trolleys to children on the trolley. The trolley is going to take its lunch break here. You can take your lunch break here too. Dunny's is giving out some free barbecue while supplies last. Our neighbors over at Bun Buds are doing $1 dumplings. We also have the trustees are coming, the Greater Fall River Recreation. We just wanted it to be a family-friendly celebration. And then in addition to that, not only celebrating ourselves and our third year in business and all the makers here, but our new neighbors on Purchase Street, because we've been feeling a lot of love, and we really want to make this a big center of activities. So there's activities over at St. James, Tequila Lime, the Belmont. So we just encourage you to either go to our Facebook event page or go to vivafallriver.com. We've got a big page there on our events calendar where we have the schedule, because whether you show up at 10 or closer to 6, you're going to find something really fun to do.
And finally, members of the community assembled last Saturday night to commemorate Overdose Awareness Day and the impact addiction has held within Fall River. We have a photo and video montage courtesy of Recover Fall River. We'll wrap up this edition of FRC Media News after this.
Hi, welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today with us we have Diesel. He is about a year and a half male pit mix. He wasn't owner surrender, no fault of his own. I believe it was a moving situation. He is a very good dog. Yes, he loves to eat, so he is food motivated. We don't have a background history with children, so we want to play it safe and say 12 up for kids. Because he gets a little excitable too, so that tail is can be a weapon. He loves to go for walks. He's got a lot of energy too. Definitely manageable. Oh, he's a very sweet boy. He's very affectionate. He only knows a couple of the basic commands. He's still learning, so it takes a little bit. Sit. Yes, skip it. Down. Yes. He's a super happy-go-lucky guy. For the pit bull breed too, you do need to, for us, you do need to own your own home. Such a good dog. Today with us we have Licorice. He is an 8-year-old domestic short hair. He's a pretty cool little guy. He's very mellow. I feel like he would do better in probably more of a quieter home setting. If you want to come down and meet Licorice, we are at Forever Paws Animal Shelter, located at 300 Linwood Street. Also, all of our contact information is at foreverpaws.com. You can see all of our adoptable animals. But definitely give us a call to meet Licorice. I think he'll make you very happy. But please make sure to make an appointment first because we are appointment-based only.
That'll do it for this edition of FRC Media News. Visit our website, frmedia.org, for all the latest news and local information. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. For all of us at FRC Media News, have a great weekend. We'll see you next Thursday.